Imagine you're relaxing on your couch this afternoon, legs stretched out in front of you, and just pause for a second to tune in to how they actually feel right now. Are they calm and comfortable, ready to carry you through the rest of the day without complaint? Or do you sense a familiar heaviness settling in, maybe a touch of tiredness, even though you haven't done anything strenuous yet? Or perhaps that subtle, shaky feeling when you think about standing up? If you're 60 or older and you've started noticing that your legs don't have quite the same reliable strength they once did, then listen closely, because what I'm about to explain could help you turn things around in ways you might not expect. This isn't about forcing yourself into more gym time, digging deep for extra willpower, or resigning yourself to the idea that weakness is just inevitable with age. Surprisingly, one of the biggest hidden factors could be something as simple and innocent-looking as the fruit you keep in your kitchen. For over 20 years now, I've dedicated my work to helping people in their later years stay strong, move confidently, and keep their independence as long as possible. I've spent countless hours talking with seniors, testing their muscle function, watching how they walk and balance, and digging into what really affects their day-to-day energy and stability. Time after time, I see the same pattern emerge. Men and women who were once very active, maybe they gardened regularly, walked their dogs every morning, played with grandchildren, or just handled household chores without thinking twice, start to feel their legs betray them. They notice they get unsteady more easily. They hesitate before stepping onto a curb. They worry about falling in the shower or going downstairs. And when I ask about their diet, almost everyone says the same thing with pride. I make sure to eat fruit every day. I eat healthy. That sentence is usually the key that unlocks the whole puzzle. The fruits we buy and eat today are simply not the same as the ones people grew up with decades ago. Back then, apples were smaller and tartar. Bananas weren't as oversized and sugary. Pineapples and mangoes weren't bred to be candy sweet. Modern agriculture has focused on making fruit look perfect, taste intensely sweet, and last longer on shelves, which means higher sugar content in almost every variety. After the age of 60, our bodies respond to that extra sugar in ways that are very different from how we handled it at 40 or 50. Our muscles become more reactive to insulin, the hormone that manages blood sugar, and that reaction can linger much longer than it should. Our nerves, which send signals to make our legs move smoothly and strongly, take more time to recover from any stress or imbalance, and any rise or drop in blood sugar feels bigger and lasts longer, putting extra strain on the whole system. The encouraging part is that once you understand this, you gain real power to make choices that protect your legs instead of unintentionally wearing them down. This isn't meant to worry you. It's meant to empower you. In the time we spend together today, roughly 20 minutes if you stay with me, I'm going to clearly identify the 7 fruits that most often quietly reduce leg strength in older adults, walk you through exactly why they create that problem in plain language, and give you a straightforward, easy-to-follow plan so you can keep enjoying fruit while actually supporting your muscles and balance rather than hurting them. Before we go any further, if you're willing, take just a moment to type a quick comment with your current age and your absolute favorite fruit to eat. It helps you stay engaged and makes you more aware of how your own body might be reacting as we talk through everything. When you start seeing the connections between certain fruits, insulin responses, nerve signals, and the way your legs feel hour by hour, you'll know precisely what to cut back on, what to change slightly, and which small tweaks can bring back noticeable strength and steadiness in a matter of weeks. Let's talk about the real changes happening inside your body after 60, explained the way I'd tell a close friend over coffee. Picture the big muscles in your thighs and hips as soft, thirsty sponges designed to absorb energy from the food you eat. When you were younger, you ate an orange or a banana. The natural sugars entered your blood, insulin came along like an efficient delivery person, and your muscles happily took in that energy to keep themselves strong and ready for action. Everything worked smoothly and quickly, but as we age into our 60s, 70s, and beyond, those sponges lose some of their softness. They don't absorb quite as eagerly anymore. Insulin sticks around longer than it used to, hanging in the bloodstream, and because of that, the muscles miss out on pulling in energy efficiently. The thigh muscles and hip muscles are particularly sensitive to insulin levels. When insulin stays high for extended periods after eating, the body gets the signal to store energy as fat rather than use it to repair and maintain muscle tissue. Over time, this speeds up sarcopenia, the medical term for the natural but unwanted loss of muscle mass and power that makes everyday movements harder. These are the exact muscles you count on to push yourself up from a seated position, lift your knees to climb steps, keep your body upright when standing at the kitchen counter, or steady yourself if the phone rings and you hurry to answer it. A long-term study done by researchers at the University of California kept track of 480 adults for 10 full years. They measured muscle size and strength regularly and compared it to blood sugar patterns after meals. The people who experienced frequent sharp spikes in blood sugar after eating lost muscle tissue in their thighs 27% faster than those whose blood sugar rose more gently and returned to normal quickly. You might be thinking, but I've always heard fruit is one of the best things for health. How can this be right? It's a fair question, and it's exactly why so many people feel confused when their legs start letting them down despite eating healthy. The truth is that even natural sugar from fruit can quietly interfere with muscle repair and maintenance when it arrives in large, rapid doses, especially as our bodies become less forgiving with age. If you've ever had a piece of fruit mid-morning and then felt your legs grow unusually tired or heavy an hour or two later, go ahead and type "tired" in the comments, so I know this is hitting home for you. Another layer that makes this tricky is potassium. So many favorite fruits, bananas especially, but also pineapple, mango, oranges, and cantaloupe, are packed with it. Potassium is genuinely important. It helps your nerves fire properly so your leg muscles contract and relax at the right moments. Without enough, you'd feel weak or crampy. But too much coming in day after day, particularly without balancing it with other nutrients, can throw off the delicate electrical balance nerves need. Think of your nerves as fine electrical wiring throughout your body. When the voltage or current gets uneven because of excess potassium, the signals traveling down to your leg muscles arrive late, weakly, or unevenly. Many seniors who eat high potassium fruit every morning or afternoon start noticing their legs feel heavy by late afternoon. They get more frequent cramps, especially in the calves at night, or certain parts of their legs feel oddly numb or asleep, even when they're moving around normally and their circulation checks out fine at the doctor. A study published in 2019 in the Journal of Geriatric Medicine looked at this exact issue in adults over 65. Those who regularly consumed large amounts of potassium, mostly from fruit, reported leg cramping episodes about 18% more often than people with more moderate intake. What feels perfectly normal and beneficial at age 35 can quietly start working against leg function by age 70. Then there's glycemic load, the speed and height of the blood sugar rise after eating a particular food. Fruits like grapes, mangoes, watermelon, and even ripe cherries might seem light and juicy, but they deliver their sugar to your bloodstream very rapidly. A small bowl of grapes can push blood sugar higher and faster than a slice of cake in some cases. That quick flood triggers low-grade inflammation throughout the body, makes it harder for muscles to repair the tiny wear and tear from daily activity, and slows down nerve recovery after ordinary use. Over several months, this gradually weakens the hip muscles and quadriceps, the big front thigh muscles that act like shock absorbers and stabilizers when you walk, stand, or turn. Harvard-affiliated researchers followed 600 adults for 5 years, tracking their fruit intake and repeatedly testing leg strength. They found that consistent consumption of high glycemic fruits was linked to roughly a 15% reduction in leg muscle strength over that period. And this decline happened regardless of how much the people exercised. One habit that makes the problem worse is eating fruit by itself first thing in the morning when your stomach has been empty overnight, or blending large amounts into smoothies. Both situations allow the sugar to rush in even faster because there's no other food to slow digestion. Fiber is another critical piece most people overlook. In whole unprocessed fruit, fiber acts like a natural speed bump for sugar absorption. It keeps the energy release slow and steady so your muscles get a gentle, manageable supply instead of an overwhelming rush. Sadly, many popular ways of eating fruit today remove or destroy much of that fiber. Fruit juice has almost none left after pressing. Dried fruits like raisins, dates, or dried apricots concentrate the sugar while reducing the fiber per bite. Smoothies break the fiber into tiny pieces so it doesn't slow absorption the way chewing whole fruit does. It's similar to watering a garden with a high-pressure hose instead of a gentle sprinkler. The plants get blasted and can't absorb properly, and some water just runs off uselessly. When your muscles face that kind of sugar overload, insulin surges sharply, muscle repair gets put on hold, and fatigue builds up quickly in the legs, often showing up as that heavy, drained feeling by mid-afternoon or evening. In 2021, a European research team studied 320 seniors and compared groups eating fruit with intact fiber to those consuming lower fiber versions, juice, dried, or heavily blended. The low-fiber group had post-meal insulin spikes 40% higher, and after 3 months their quadriceps strength had measurably declined compared to the fiber-rich group. That's why paying attention to fiber content, meal timing, and food pairing becomes essential. Standard nutrition advice rarely explains these finer points in ways that help older adults protect their legs. There's also something called anabolic resistance that kicks in more noticeably after 60. It means your muscle cells become less efficient at using dietary protein to rebuild and maintain themselves. You might eat chicken, eggs, fish, or yogurt regularly, but if frequent sugar spikes are happening at the same time, those spikes interfere with how well the protein gets put to work. Imagine preparing to plant a row of flowers in rich soil, but someone spreads a layer of concrete over it first. The flowers sit on top but can't root deeply or thrive because the foundation is blocked. Here, the protein is the nourishing element your muscles need, and repeated high insulin from sugary fruit acts like that hardening layer. Boston University researchers studied this process and found that seniors with frequent post-meal blood sugar spikes had muscle protein synthesis rates 32% slower than those who managed their insulin responses more carefully. Put all these elements together: higher sugar in today's fruit, excess potassium in popular choices, reduced fiber from common preparation methods, age-related insulin sensitivity, and growing anabolic resistance, and you have a silent combination that steadily weakens leg muscles and balance without most people ever connecting it to their daily fruit routine. If your legs ever feel heavy, crampy, or unsteady after eating fruit, type balance in the comments now, so I know you're seeing yourself in this description. You might be asking why some seniors eat fruit daily and still have strong, steady legs well into their 80s. The difference usually isn't luck, it's unconscious strategy. They eat fruit in ways that minimize the negative effects without even realizing they're doing it. And that's what I want to teach you explicitly right now. Let me share 2 real stories from people I've worked with. Margaret was 71, fiercely independent, and very proud of how carefully she ate. Every morning she chopped up a big bowl of fruit, several slices of banana, a big pile of grapes, generous chunks of pineapple, and diced mango. She believed it gave her energy and vitamins to start the day right. But by early afternoon her legs would turn weak and unreliable. She stopped using stairs unless absolutely necessary. She steadied herself by holding onto chair backs or counter edges when moving through rooms, and she quietly started believing this was just the price of getting older. When she sat down with me, she looked genuinely puzzled and said, "I eat so much healthy food, especially fruit. Why do my legs feel like they're made of lead by lunchtime?" We introduced what I call the fruit protocol, a simple framework built around timing, smart combinations, and reasonable amounts. We removed the high-sugar fruits she'd been relying on and switched to small portions of berries and green apples, always eaten after she'd had protein in her meal. Nothing drastic, just thoughtful adjustments. 3 weeks later, she returned almost in disbelief. Her legs felt solid again. She went up and down stairs without stopping to catch her breath. She walked longer distances around her neighborhood without needing breaks, and she told me with real emotion, "I finally feel like my legs are on my side again instead of working against me." When we retested, her quadriceps strength had increased 18%, her balance scores improved 22%, and her self-reported fatigue level dropped from 7 out of 10 to 3 out of 10. Small changes, big difference in how she lived every day. Robert was 74 and loved his morning ritual. He'd blend a tall smoothie with a whole banana, lots of mango, a cup of orange juice, and a scoop of yogurt. It tasted great and felt healthy. But by 10 or 11 in the morning, his legs would give out. He'd feel them weaken to the point he had to sit down, even if he'd only done light housework. He assumed it was simply age closing in. We talked it through and made targeted swaps. We eliminated the morning smoothie because it flooded his system with sugar too early and too fast. We moved a small amount of fruit to after lunch, paired it with protein, and emphasized fiber-rich berries over sweeter tropical fruits. 4 weeks later, he was walking 30 minutes every day without stopping once, climbing stairs without gripping the rail tightly, and he said his leg energy felt 60% better than before. Lab measures showed his muscle protein synthesis rate had risen 25% from his starting point. Margaret and Robert proved the same core truth. You don't have to give up fruit forever. You just need to eat smarter versions of it in smarter amounts at smarter times. Here's the exact protocol I use with patients. The fruit plan. Easy to remember because the letters spell out the steps. F means fruit pairing. Always eat fruit with a source of protein or healthy fat. This combination dramatically slows sugar absorption and shields your muscles from sharp insulin rises. A University of Sydney study showed that eating berries with Greek yogurt cut post-meal insulin spikes by 50% compared to berries alone. Try a handful of blueberries with 10 almonds, or sliced strawberries stirred into half a cup of cottage cheese. The same berries eaten solo can trigger enough insulin to disrupt muscle repair over time. R stands for right portion. Today's fruits are sugar-dense, so keep servings modest. Half a cup of berries, 1 small apple, or 1 kiwi. Large morning fruit bowls or fruit-packed smoothies easily deliver far more sugar than aging muscles handle well. 1 sensible serving per day usually covers your nutrient needs without overload. U is understand timing. Eat fruit after a meal that already has protein and fat, never on an empty stomach or before other food. When fruit follows other foods, blood sugar climbs more gently, energy stays even, and legs stay protected. Skip the breakfast smoothie. Try eggs and spinach instead. Save berries for an afternoon snack with nuts or yogurt. That timing shift alone often makes legs feel lighter all day. I means insulin awareness. Stay alert to how your body signals trouble, leg heaviness, extra cramps, quicker fatigue after fruit. Those are clues sugar is affecting your muscles. People who tracked those signs and adjusted their habits saw leg strength improve 18% faster over 4 weeks. T stands for test and observe. Do a 2-week trial. Remove the highest sugar fruits, bananas, grapes, mango, pineapple, watermelon, dried fruit, juice. Replace with small portions of berries, green apples, or kiwi, always paired with protein and eaten after meals. Watch your legs closely. Note strength when standing, balance when walking, fatigue levels, movement confidence. This trial usually shows why some seniors stay strong. They follow these principles naturally. When you apply the fruit protocol consistently, changes build steadily. Week 1 often brings a gentle energy lift and legs that feel lighter after eating. Week 2 reduces that dragging fatigue and builds confidence in short walks. Weeks 3 and 4 deliver clearer gains, easier stairs, longer standing, stronger steps. After a month, strength stabilizes, balance improves noticeably, and fall worries fade. You're not pushing harder. You're simply stopping what was quietly draining you. A few important precautions before you start. This protocol supports muscle health through diet, but isn't a cure for sarcopenia or any disease. Never stop doctor-prescribed medications without their okay. If you have kidney issues, diabetes, or severe insulin problems, talk to your physician first. Begin slowly, 1 change at a time. Listen to your body. Use feelings of heaviness or cramps as guides. Gradual steps help you adapt safely. My invitation to you, pick 1 piece of the fruit protocol, pairing, portion, timing, or observing, and do it faithfully for 30 days. Then come back and tell me in a comment what happened. Share your age, what you changed, which fruits you adjusted, and how your legs responded. Your legs have carried you through a lifetime of experiences. They deserve care that lets them stay strong and steady. Sit quietly for a moment and notice your legs again. If they're feeling less dependable than you'd like, these ideas give you a clear, gentle way to help them recover. You can enjoy fruit again without the hidden cost. Take it 1 small step at a time and see how much better daily life can feel.